Yeah, so we are officially going live right now. Yo, this is the Fat Weather Fan channel. It's your boy EC22. I'm your host of the Fat Weather Fan on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook Live. Listen, for you guys out there who are joining in, please do me a favor. Hit the like and subscribe button on Facebook. Definitely go over to the YouTube channel and support it. But hey, this is my first live streaming on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, man. I normally just do videos and post them, but I got some of my boys here, man. We finna go live. We're gonna go talk about it. Hey, man, Jonathan G, introduce yourself.
Yeah, man, I'm Jonathan G. I'm the sometime a fan, you know. I'm jumping on the same bandwagon with the fair weather fan, man. I'm being down with the team, man. The new team.
That's what's up. That's what's up. George Moore, introduce yourself.
Yo, it's your boy G-Mo, man. I'm a Cowboy fan, but you know, shit, I can be hard on them sometimes. A lot of times I can be hard on them.
Hey, me and you both.
Yeah.
Now, Reed, Iran, what's going on? Introduce yourself.
I'm Iron Claiborne or Nari, whatever you want to call me, however you know me around the city of Dallas. I'm a diehard Cowboy fan. I don't jump on, I don't jump off. I'm a fan, but I'm a realist too, and I recognize the flaws in my team, but I also recognize the good stuff in my team. So it's just like a child, you know. That's your baby. You know your baby crazy and needs some help, but that's your baby though.
Man, how did Derek forget the link to this thing? What's wrong with Derek?
Oh,
Derek.
That is true. Let me get this boy the link to this thing, man.
Let me send a text message and click it.
Send a text message.
Hey, he might be on fire. He might be on fire with Mike McCarthy.
Stop it.
He might be on fire with Mike McCarthy. So
y'all getting started early.
Do everybody know Mike McCarthy's number?
Right. I deleted it when Jerry sent it to me. I sent it back.
Say, man, you know I drive trucks, right? How about I had a delivery? I had a delivery to Dak Prescott's house, man.
Really?
No joke.
Yeah.
That's good. Now I'm full with Dak Prescott.
Hey, was Jerry Jones over there?
No.
Right.
No. You be shocked who was over there.
Who was that?
I hope CeeDee Lamb was over there.
Yeah, Zeke was over there. CeeDee Lamb was over there. Javon Curse was over there, and Dez was over there.
Yeah, I love to hear it.
Well, he trying to get his job back or something?
Right.
Is he trying to get his job? Both of them. Dez and wasn't trying to get his job back.
This before Zeke got cut, though.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay. But Zeke still need to be over there.
Come on, man.
Well, I'm
gonna talk about Zeke too.
Yeah. I want to hear it. I'm one of the few guys that said we should have kept Zeke.
I was on the fence.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this first question real quick, man. The first question is this right here. If you guys can see the screen, greatest running backs of all time. Why is Emmitt Smith not in the top 5? George, I'm gonna hand it off to you first.
Oh man, you gonna start with me?
Well, let me ask you, is he in your top 5? Is Emmitt Smith in your top 5? Greatest running backs of all time.
I mean, man, it all depends on what you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like,
what
you feel. Like you say his endurance. You know what I'm saying? His longevity. You know, you can say a lot of things. You know, I mean, of course he was. As flashy as a lot of guys was. You know, he was just so it all depends, man. But that's a hard one, man. That's a pretty hard one. I like Emmitt, but he wasn't. I mean, if you want to, it all depends on you. Like you say, you like the top flashy running backs.
Yeah.
No, I don't think if you that's if that's what you're looking for. But I mean, I don't know, man. That's a hard one, bro. That's a real hard one, man.
There you go. There go Big D.
There go Big D.
Chuck it.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
You hear us, Big D?
What?
There we go. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it off to you then, since you're just not getting on. I'm gonna go ahead and let you get started. Greatest running back of all time. Why is Emmitt Smith not in everybody's top 5 since you joining?
You say what?
Why is Emmitt Smith not in everybody's top 5 as greatest running backs of all time?
Because he got that star on the side of his helmet.
That's what you going with?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know,
That's a wonderful reason.
I mean, on the cool,
It's the truth, though.
I mean, longevity counts.
Right.
Okay, longevity counts. So all them cats, you know what I'm saying, you fell off after 8 years because of injuries. Hey, man, attrition in sports, it matters.
Yeah.
So if you have attrition in sports and longevity matters, I mean, it is what it is. That's how Walter Payton got to where he was at. Longevity.
Big D, that's the same thing I was saying, man. Longevity. It's crazy how you said that because you weren't on here when I was saying that, but I was saying the same thing, dog. Longevity, man, and knowing how to, you know, say how to work your body on the off season and stay out of trouble and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta put
all that counts.
All that counts, man. It counts.
Hey,
Yeah.
do you have
Yes, sir.
do you have Zeke Elliott in your top 5?
Zeke Elliott in my top 5.
I'm sorry. Forgive me, Zeke. You're not even in this conversation. Do you have Emmitt Smith in your top 5?
So Emmitt Smith is definitely in my top 5.
Okay.
But I think the reason why Emmitt is not in everybody else's top 5 is partially because of what Big D said, that star. But also, when you think about great players, why is it that nobody really gives Kevin Durant the credit that he deserves with those 2 straight NBA finals with the Golden State Warriors? They don't give him credit because of his surrounding cast. It has nothing to do with the fact, shirt hopping, and of course the team that was around him. But that didn't have nothing to do with KD. He balled. He balled every game. And if they don't have KD, they don't win them 2 finals. That's real talk. True.
He was finals MVP both times, right?
Yeah. Emmitt Smith is a victim of having a hellified offensive line, having a great quarterback, and having a great wide receiver, having a great defense. He was a victim of the people that were around him. But that didn't have nothing to do with Emmitt because he balled.
Hey, G.
Yeah.
Do you have your top 5?
Look, you know I'm ready. I believe, you know, and let me clarify something that I said earlier too.
Yeah.
Though I am a Cowboys fan, but now I'm gonna jump on Iron bandwagon. But I am a realist also.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the reason Emmitt Smith is not in everybody's top 5 is because he is not in everybody's top 5, bro. He is not a top 5 running back.
Okay, I can pick up what you put down.
All right, it's simple as that. It's not. It's true. It's some people gonna hate because he's a Cowboy. True, right. But for me, is regardless of his longevity or whatever. There's no way us that are who are Cowboys fans are going to sit here and say we believe that Emmitt Smith could tote the pill better than Tony Dorsett.
He
did. Okay. And think about it. Just remember, because I think we all old enough. We all saw them Cowboys teams in the '90s.
Right.
Remember when Emmitt held out?
Yeah.
The Cowboys looked like trash. The moment Emmitt came back, they became the most dominant team in the NFL again, and then they won the Super Bowl. I just look at the common denominator. You take Emmitt out, they look like trash. They still had Troy, they still had Michael Irvin, they still had that line. Nothing changed but Emmitt. He was the only thing that changed. You put Emmitt back in, and now can't nobody beat him.
That's all right. I like it. Hey, to those of you who
let me say something right quick.
Hey, but Derek, before you say that, let me for those of you who are watching live, hey, you guys, please join in the conversation by leaving a comment. The question is on the screen: the greatest running backs of all time. Why is Emmitt not in the top 5? So if you would jump in the conversation, man, we'll definitely appreciate it. Big D, go ahead, take it away.
I mean, I'll take it like this. I'll take it like this, okay? Emmitt Smith is in top 5. You got to put him in there no matter what. I mean, his accolades is what asked for you to do that. Period. His accolades, I mean, longevity, attrition. He has to be there now. Without you could go somewhere and be like, ooh, no, because only other people you can really put above him really solidly is Jim. I mean, I give you three.
Okay,
Three
come on.
you might, and but the numbers don't lie. You can say Walter Payton, Sweetness.
All right.
Okay,
See Jim Brown.
okay.
And it's and now, Gale Sayers had a short career. You could put it between Eric Dickerson or Jim Brown.
Ooh, okay.
ED was either just how many cats had 2,000 yards rushing?
Yeah.
You know, ED was good. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him that. But if you're going, what are we basing our criteria off of? Is it longevity? Because to get the yards that Emmitt got and Sweetness got, is you have to have longevity. You can't get none of those yards playing 10 years. You just can't.
You got to also remember. The another big criteria: talent level. Who were they playing against?
Yeah.
No. You can't do that one though, because we can't. No.
Because you can't say what they playing against, because back then, running backs had styrofoam pads.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is the competition is the competition. The great guys make all the guys look normal anyway.
Hey, G.
So we can't say the teams from the 90s were tougher than the teams in the 70s or the teams in the 2000s.
No. What I'm talking about is the skill level. You think about it. Cornerbacks, safeties that play in today's game. Put it this way: receivers in today's game couldn't make it in the 90s.
Why would you say that? Megatron would have absolutely blew the league head out. Randy Moss would have blew the league head out.
That's not this era. That's not this era. That's not this era.
Of refereeing, the level of refereeing, and what you allow to do.
Thank you.
Like now, Megatron, you go back up there in them 90s, you try to go up there and stretch out there and reach out there and catch that, and watch Ant lay into you.
No,
Megatron Sean Taylor gonna lay into your rib cage.
Yeah.
Megatron was way bigger than all of them guys.
Remember Randy Moss.
Way bigger, G. I'm talking about you go to reach up there, want to go try to snatch it out the air like he like to do. Atwater and Sean Taylor gonna put some in his rib cage.
Right.
No.
Let me bounce back. Let me show you. Let me show you real quick.
Look at what targeting is now. Man, you can literally put your helmet. You can literally drop your head and go wham full speed into a receiver. I mean, it ain't no hit on the sophisticated receiver.
In any era, if you put Randy Moss, he might be short arming him or whatever. What I'm saying is Randy Moss was gonna blow the top off of the league, whatever year he was playing.
Hold on, G though, but you saying Randy Moss. Randy Moss played during that era. That's 90s. Randy Moss was a rookie in 98. We're not talking about Randy Moss. I'm talking about Odell. I'm talking about Jamar Chase. I'm talking about CeeDee Lamb. I'm talking about this era. This era of receivers couldn't make it in the 90s because nobody can touch them.
Right.
Hey,
real quick. Derek,
me being a coach, they're not built for that.
Derek, hold on for a second. Let me jump on this one real quick. We're gonna keep the running backs in the game. So real quick, I'm gonna show you guys my top five. Top five running backs. I got Walter Payton, number one. Obviously, it's an emotional one for me. Jim Brown, just because he's Jim Brown. Number three, I got Barry Sanders. Number four, I got Eric Dickerson. And number five, I got Emmitt Smith. Now,
I'll give you my top five.
Go ahead, Ira. What's your top five?
My top five, number one, Barry Sanders.
Woo! Okay.
Number two, Jim Brown.
Okay.
Number three, Walter Payton.
Okay.
Number four, Bo Jackson.
Gee, we gonna talk about
Number five,
I can't
Emmitt Smith.
The reason I can't put him there.
Hold up, Derek.
I let it hear. Everybody top 5 can be their own top 5. We can't debate nobody top 5.
Hey, who was your fifth, Aaron?
Huh?
Who was your fifth? I didn't hear your fifth one.
Emmitt.
Emmitt. Okay,
All right.
George. Who's your top 5, George?
I'll say Walter Payton.
Uh-huh.
Barry Sanders,
Okay.
Bo Jackson. Hey,
So many.
man, it's hard for me, bro.
I got my top 5.
Go ahead, G.
Who your
I got Jim Brown is number 1 for me.
Uh-huh.
Number 2, I got O.J. Simpson.
Oh, snap.
Number 3, I got Walter Payton.
Okay.
Number 4, I got Earl Campbell. Number 5, I got Eric Dickerson. That's my top 5.
Derek, that's like what you got, right?
My top 5 gonna run like this. Now, I grade mine on a different scale because I don't grade mine on what should have been
number 1. It was pick number 1.
I'm just so you hear mine. Mine is all about longevity because just like I think who was that George said it earlier. It's about how you take care of your body. All that to me matters because that's what I got. That's why I can't give it to Gil Sayers. To me, if my list is 12 years or better, 10 years.
Okay.
That's cool. As long as you got your criteria.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of them that's in mine didn't play that long, which is Jim Brown and Barry Sanders. But mine's specifically going to go Walter Payton, Emmitt, because they what they put their body, especially back then.
That's fair.
The level of punishment they put their bodies through, and they prevailed through it, and it was good. So I go Walter Payton, Emmitt, Barry. My fourth one's gonna be Ed, and then my fifth one.
Who? Oh, Eric Dixon. All right.
Yeah.
Eric Dixon. And then it's like a 5-way. It's a 3-way tie because you can go with Eric. I mean, you can go with Earl Campbell. You could go with Bo. You could go with Gil Sayers because all of them didn't have. You never got to see the potential of their career.
Right.
But now I'm gonna take that back. All of them they fight for 6. My fifth, Thurman Thomas.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Thurman Thomas.
I can't disagree with nobody in this.
Hey,
but
so y'all check this next one out, right? I'm gonna post this right here. Y'all check this one right. So we got Brendan. He asked about Bo Jackson, and we got who was also said one L Anthony, what's his name? Yeah, 1LA Anthony. Well, yeah, Anthony asked about Bo Jackson, so we got that squared away. But real quick, I'm gonna put some up here. I want y'all. Can y'all see my things?
I can't see nothing because I took it out so I could get my map up.
Oh, okay. So, Derek, you brought up Gil Sayers. So, Bo Jackson, between these guys who had short careers that we know of, and that was pretty beast. You got Bo Jackson, obviously the 80s. You got Gil Sayers in the 60s, and you got Terrell Davis in the 90s.
Gil was 70s.
Short careers, huh?
Yeah.
Gil was 70s.
He was 60s. He was late 60s.
Late 60s.
Who run the 70s was people like Earl Campbell, Jim Brown. But out of those top people who had short careers, right? Who would you take? Now, Bo Jackson, Gale Sayers, Terrell Davis, they're both Hall of Famers. Bo Jackson, not a Hall of Famer, but yet he was named ESPN greatest athlete, one of the ESPN greatest athletes of all time. He ranked number 70 on the list, and he only athlete that won an All-Star in 2 major leagues, football as well as baseball.
Yeah. I mean,
so out of those 3, who would you take as your running back?
Out of who?
Bo Jackson, Gale Sayers, and Terrell Davis.
Oh,
that's easy for me.
To be honest with you,
that's easy for me.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say Gale Sayers.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give my reasoning for it. My reason for Gale Sayers is the fact that he played in the 60s where you had to be a tough son of a gun.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and the lot of blocking schemes, it was just all him and speed. And also, he
Yeah.
was a kickoff return. You know,
Yeah.
he also did kickoff returns, so that was made him extra more potent.
Yeah.
Right. Gail still hold the record. 6 touchdowns in the game. Ain't nobody that's like an unbreakable record type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Gail Sayers was a beast. Gail Sayers as a rookie got like 20-something touchdowns. I forget what the exact number. He was
Only
an
thing,
absolute beast.
Gale Sayers is attrition.
Right.
But this is what I'm saying. On draft night, I ain't gonna even say on draft night. I'm not even saying on draft night. I'm saying you got one season for one running back. If you tell me you take Emmitt Smith over Aaron Warner, I can name 10. I can actually slide Emmitt all the way past 20 of who can really tote the pill. I'm talking about when I talk about the greatest, the coldest. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I look at it.
They penalized Emmitt. They penalized Emmitt strictly for the fact that he had a badass offensive line.
That's it.
No, not me though. You talking about everybody else, not me. I'm talking about what my criteria is. I'm talking about strictly the person toting the pill.
Yeah.
Same thing as like I say with basketball.
Hey, Aaron, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, and George,
Yeah.
I'm gonna alley oop that question to y'all, to both of y'all. Bo Jackson, Gale Sayers, or Terrell Davis? Which one y'all think?
Man, I'm gonna say
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson? Okay.
Bo Jackson.
I'll say Terrell Davis.
Bo Jackson didn't start though. Bo Jackson wasn't start. It was Marcus Allen.
Hey,
I know,
hey, Aaron,
what I'm saying is,
why you pick Bo? Yeah, why you pick Bo Jackson over those three?
so remember, and not that I started anything or even got a whole lot of playing time, right? But I was a running back.
Gotcha.
So when you look for a running back, you look for the person that not only that he's strong, he has the ability to hit the hole hard, but you want somebody that can break the game open.
Yeah.
There was nobody stronger at the running back position than Bo Jackson when he played. There was nobody faster than Bo Jackson at the position when he played. The only reason he was not starting is because the Raiders had so much invested in Marcus Allen. But remember, because they had Bo Jackson, they let Marcus Allen walk.
Right.
And
then Bo
let
Jackson
me
got
add
hurt.
to that, Aaron. Let me add to that, Aaron. The reason Bo Jackson didn't start was because he had to finish playing six games deep, playing baseball. And you cannot bring a young guy back from playing another sport and start him over future Hall of Famer Marcus Allen. That is not how the sport works. He could not start over Marcus Allen.
But you're looking at the talent-wise?
He was cold at that point in time. He was colder than Marcus Allen.
My question to you guys is, why do y'all exit Emmitt out? Because we don't know what Emmitt
could do.
I'm just saying, everybody. What could he do? We don't know what to do without, huh?
Hey, baby, we're gonna jump back to Emmitt. Let's hit these other questions real quick. Hey, we're gonna double back on Emmitt before we end the show. But G, did you pick out of those three?
I'm with Aaron. I'm gonna pick Bo Jackson.
Are you gonna pick Bo Jackson?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Bo Jackson on this out of them three.
Hey, what about you, George? Who you got?
I'm picking TD, man, because that dude was strong, man. He was
cold.
He was cold for about a good 3 years. 3 good years.
Now, are we grading this on having an outstanding line or making do what you do?
Hey,
I'm grading it strictly on is the running back gonna make it do what it do.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm grading. I'm not counting the offensive line.
So with that,
I'm saying offensive line or not, Barry Sanders is better than Emmitt.
I feel where you're going, Derek.
Huh?
I feel where you're going, Derek. If it's making it do what it do.
So if you're making it do what it do, then that means you have to X out TD and Emmitt for that matter, because both of them had Pro Bowl and Hall of Fame quarterbacks and offensive line. Denver had a hell of an offensive line.
I don't know they did. I don't know about that.
I said that they also had Terrell Davis. Not Terrell Davis, but Shannon Sharp. that made you where you can't key on it.
Yeah, Big D, but still, man.
They had a Hall of Fame coach. They had a Hall of Fame coach.
Big D.
They had a Hall of Fame. They had a Hall of Fame. They had Hall of Fame receivers. They had Hall of Fame tight end. Come on, man. They had Hall of Fame all the way around.
The only thing I'm grading it on.
They have Hall of Fame offensive linemen. I mean, so only person that were doing it out the mud like that was Bo Jackson, Gail Sayers. They were doing it out the mud.
Hey, so real clear, let me give you my opinion on each guys, right? Out of the three. So starting with Terrell Davis, obviously the dude was a beast. He played 7 seasons, played a short 7 season, 1,600 carries, over 7,000 yards, 7,607 yards, 169 catches, over 1,200 yards on receiving. He scored 65 touchdowns. I mean, Pro Bowl, 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year. MVP 1 year, Super Bowl MVP, and 2 championships. That's a hell of a record. That's a hell of a
run.
Yeah,
so you got to give him.
That's a hell. Right.
So we already talked about Bo Jackson, right? Obviously, he ain't got the accolades that the other guys got, but he has something nobody else has. Is the only athlete alive or ever to have 2 all-stars in 2 major league in the U.S. And so that's
major sport, right?
Major sport. But Kevin Walker ended his career because we never really know exactly what Bo Jackson could have been had he not got hit by that linebacker in his career only for 4 years.
Well, he actually get kicked. Actually, he didn't get kicked.
Hold up there. But going to Gale Sayers. Now, this guy is a pretty phenomenal player. Now, if you ever watch Gale Sayers play, watch his highlights. The dude had did things on the football field that have yet to be seen. Mm-hmm. They can't even train players. You get players, they play trainer, they train for running backs to stop on a dime to make that cut up field. This dude did all that prior to all that's even been in a training regimen. He said he did it out of instinct. He said it must have been God or somebody just told him just go that way. And if you ever watch him running, it's like he didn't think it. It was just like he just moved. The dude moves. He moved. What's old boy who played him? Billy D. Williams, who played him in the documentary, said that he watched him play. It's almost like it was dancing. It was almost like it was flowetry, like the dude just out there. I've been watching his highlights over the last couple of days. But like you said, Big D, the kickoff returns and the receiving, you got to add that in the play because he only got 4,000 rushing yards, but he got over 3,000 kickoff returns, and he had over a 1,300 receiver. That dude was the guy of his era. He did it all. He stayed on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
In the football world, we call that Himothy. He is Himothy.
The only thing he didn't do was play defense. That's all he didn't do was play defense.
Yeah. Right. That's called Himothy.
So, but again, see, again, my criteria is when you got the ball in your hand.
Yeah.
And the light was on you. I ain't talking about the offensive line, no. The best team. I ain't talking about no Super Bowl.
It don't matter.
It does not matter because I'm talking about a player. I'm not talking about a team.
Hey, so here it is. So check it out. We're going to do something real fun. I'm going to give each one of you guys a question. All right. And you're going to debate with me on it. And I already have my picks on these questions. I'm going to give each one of you guys and a question, and we're going to debate. And then we're going to see what the other panels choose, right? The way the rules work is that you only debate on the question that you're given, but you can vote on any one. All right?
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with Big D. You can't see my list, but I'm going to call them out. Out of these 2 running backs, who do you choose? Eric Dickerson or LaDainian Tomlinson?
It's basically
whatever criteria you use.
Right, whatever criteria you use.
The criteria I'm gonna come up with. To be honest
this is how I like to play.
To me, it's like me. I'll be honest. That's even. It's an even kill.
Yeah, it's pretty even, but you got to pick one.
Gotta pick one.
Eric Dickerson because he did it for 2 teams.
Okay, that's fair. I got LaDainian Tomlinson for one reason alone. When it comes down to yards per carry, they're pretty even. Eric Dickerson at 4.4, LaDainian Tomlinson at 4.3 yards per carry. But I'm looking at that 145 touchdowns versus Eric Dixon 90. Now I know that's not saying a lot because you're talking about LaDainian Thomas had the ball more, but just out of emotional pick, I'm rolling with LT on that one.
Now, to my defense, what Eric Dickerson is,
Go ahead.
he was the star of two teams, the Colts,
Absolutely, right.
Rams. So when you do that, when you do what you do for two teams,
Okay.
that makes you, to me, a little bit more potent. And the touchdown thing to me could be fascist. What I mean by fascist, because you could get on the 1 yard line and boom, you run it in. Now you got a touchdown on your record.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Eric Dickerson.
Wait a minute. He could be like Emmitt Smith.
Don't do that.
Same way.
Don't do it, G.
Don't get him on him again.
But I'm just saying is, we all know but how many running backs?
I just asked the question, man. There y'all go implying.
How many times did LaDainian Thompson crack 2,000 yards rushing?
But LaDainian Thompson was catching that hoe out the backfield, damn near getting 1,000 yards receiving.
Now you gauge in two eras. No. He asked specifically. Let me explain.
LaDainian Thompson or Eric Dickerson.
Let me explain what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back then, when ED was playing, it was handed to the running back, ass run. Now, your running backs is a little more flamboyant. They're catching out the backfield. You're throwing it to your running back more. Back then, you threw it to the running back every now and again. But basically, you gave your running back the ball, and you hit A gap, B gap, or C gap. That's where you're going, A, B, or C. That's your
part of what made Eric Dickerson. He caught that out the backfield. That nigga was a weapon.
Right.
Eric Dickerson.
But at the end of the day, it's still. So I mean, I was more so going on because he gonna get that bug and get. Yeah, he caught at the backfield, but it wasn't as much as LaDainian Thompson did. That was game plan. We're gonna game plan. He had plays that there was. If ED was just go out, I'm gonna throw it to you on. I'm gonna throw you on a little swing route. That's it. Swing route. That's it. LaDainian Thompson. You would never see ED on the wheel route. You would never see Eric Dickerson run a wheel route. You had LaDainian Thompson out there running wheel routes. That is a design play.
Big D. All right, so you got your point there. So you basically talked about you picked ED, Eric Dickerson, and I got LaDainian Thompson. So we're gonna take a vote. G, who you got?
I say LaDainian Thompson.
Aaron, who you got?
LT.
And George, who you got?
Eric Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson. So it's tied 2-2. So D, you got 2, and I got 2. Now let's go to the next one. George, this is on you. Frank Gore or Adrian Peterson?
Ooh, good one.
That's a good one.
No, it's not.
I would have to go with Adrian Peterson though.
You got Adrian Peterson?
Yeah, I got Adrian Peterson.
I'm with you on that one. So that's 2. So George get that one by default. I got Adrian Peterson. I like Frank Gore, but he got knocked out by Darren Williams. So I'm like, I don't know no more. I'm sorry.
Right, but he was cold though.
Frank Gore was cold. They will give us cook.
Hey, and that's Frank Gore had longevity too.
He played
but he
ACC season.
Adrian Peterson though. Adrian Peterson, he had pretty much a nice jeopardy, but it wasn't. I don't think it was longer than Frank Gore. But
so this is why I got Adrian Peterson. Number one, you know what I'm saying? Because I know his people and from here, but that's emotional, right? I should be judging like that. But most of all, you're looking at the 16,000 yards Frank have versus the 15,000 or little 15,000 Adrian Peterson had. But I'm looking at the 120 touchdowns and the 4.6 per carry. Frank Gore had more attempts, but only got 81 touchdowns. And like Big D said, that may not be a whole lot compared to when you look at as far as 1 yard line or whatever. But Adrian Peterson was a beast for a long time. So he got that on there. G, who you got?
I'll say Adrian Peterson on that one also.
Aaron, who you got?
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson. All right, Aaron, this is on you. This is a good one. Get ready for it. Boom. Marshall Faulk or Tony Dorsett? Who you got?
Marshall Faulk or Tony Dorsett? So when I started playing football, I chose the number 33 because of Tony Dorsett.
Right.
Actually, I chose it because of Roger Craig. No, I chose it because of Roger Craig, but I love Tony Dorsett. I could, but man, that's a good one. Marshall Faulk.
You got Marshall Faulk?
I got Marshall Faulk.
What's your debate?
My debate is simple. Marshall Faulk is the reason why. He's the reason why teams use running backs the way they do today.
Okay.
Exactly.
He's the reason. He's the reason why. Because not only did he do it with the Colts,
okay,
he did it with the Rams. He was the workhorse running back, but when you needed to get that first down and it was 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5 and they know you throwing, you're gonna throw it to Marshall Faulk because you know he's gonna get past those linebackers because he's faster than everybody, and he's gonna make a move to get past the secondary, so he might take it to the house. Tony Dorsett really didn't have to worry about catching the ball out the backfield. He did. But if Starbuck was throwing the ball, he was throwing it to Drew.
Right.
If Danny White was throwing the ball, he was throwing it to Drew or Preston Pearson. He wasn't throwing it to Tony Dorsett. They gave the ball to Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett was effective. He was very effective, But to me, when you have the ability to change the game, and it don't take away from you. Tony Dorsett was an awesome running back. Tony Dorsett didn't change the game. Marshall Faulk did.
So my debate is this: Marshall Faulk, 12,279 rushing yards, 100 touchdowns, 4.3 yards per carry. He have over 6,875 receiving yards, over 767 catches. Tony Dorsett, slightly higher on yards, 12,739, only 77 touchdowns, and they both got the same yards per carry, 4.3. Everything you said, Ivan, was right, but my dad would probably whoop me if I don't go with Tony Dorsett. So I'm not trying to see James Curtis right about that. So I would choose.
Hey, let me pick it back off what he just said about Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk, he was the reason for the greatest show on turf.
Yes.
So I say never go against a man with a big name.
Yeah, I like that.
Greatest show on turf, man. He, like he said, he basically changed the game.
Yeah.
Way back then, man. He come out the backfield and catch the rock, and take it to the house, if need be. So, yeah, I'll pick Marshall Faulk over Tony Dorsett on that one too.
So who you got, G?
Yeah, I was gonna say Marshall Faulk too.
Yeah, Marshall Faulk.
For those very same reasons. I mean, even though I say even in Eric Dickerson case, the same thing. Really, if you stand back there, who I think can run the hardest, I would probably say Eric Dickerson and on this one, Tony Dorsett. I'm saying, even though, like y'all said, even though Eric Dickerson, he could catch that out the back, they were absolute weapons out the back. But these other guys, man, they were really like you say, they changed how you did. They changed the shit. They made the defenses have to do all kind of different shit to figure this out. That they basically almost slot receivers out the backfield. They can kick so damn good.
They even lined Marshall Faulk up in the slot.
Type shit. You see what I'm saying? Guys like Warwick Dunn. See, they don't get a lot of credit. Warwick Dunn was an absolute beast, but
Warwick Dunn is the reason I fell in love with Florida State.
You see what I'm saying? Those guys, they was changing the game. They was, running backs did become different.
All right, G, you got the last one. So first of all, Aaron got a full sweep on that one. I said Tony Dorsett out of emotion, but my heart was Marshall Ford. So Aaron got a full sweep on that. So he's 4 on that. Derek is 2-2 with me. George is 3-1. And Jonathan, you was 3-2. So you were 3-1. So I haven't got the full sweep, but no, G, we haven't got to yours yet. I'm sorry.
It's my turn.
It's your turn. Are you ready for this one? This is gonna be crazy right here. Now I want y'all to hold your breath on this one.
I'm holding.
G, Jerome Bettis or Curtis Martin?
Dang.
Ooh.
That's easy.
I'm going Curtis Martin.
Oh, what? Okay. What? Okay.
I'm going Curtis Martin.
Okay.
Thank you.
Curtis
Martin was smooth and very underrated because there was some guys that was cold. So it was dogs when Curtis Martin was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Curtis Martin would tote that pill. He was real smooth. He was elusive. You know what I'm saying? Through the tackles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going, and I liked it the bus.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. I liked it the bus. But in that scenario, I'm going Curtis Martin. He was always.
And Curtis Martin was strong. He was stronger than a lot of people gave him credit for too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was like that's why I mentioned up through the tackle. See, you ain't no little nigga going up through there like that. Curtis Martin used to get up through there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because look at what happened to New England when they traded him away.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. You know, but around that time it was some underrated backs. Remember, the Cowboys wound up with Chris Warren.
Right.
Chris Warren was a dog before we got it.
Yeah, it is.
What up, Dana? What's going on, man?
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
Dana, since you just jumping in, we're gonna go backwards for you because I want you to answer some of these questions real quick. We're gonna jump off. Eric Dickerson or LaDainian Tomlinson, who you got?
Oh shit. Damn.
That's the answer everybody give first.
Yeah, that's the first answer every time. Shit.
This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Eric Dickerson because I think the defenses were nastier kind of back then.
All right, so that's what's that? 3-2 for Derek. Yeah, he got that. Frank Gore or Adrian Peterson?
Shit.
Good answer.
I always like Adrian Peterson, man. I've always liked Adrian Peterson because he's an elusive runner, man. I mean, and then when he got hurt, he came back and he still put up big numbers. So, I mean,
hey George, who'd you pick in that one? I forgot.
Peterson.
You picked Peterson. All right, so that's 4-1 for you. Marshall Faulk or Tony Dorsett?
Ooh. Tony Dorsett was my favorite running back, man. I ain't gonna front, and I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm gonna let y'all know that.
Thank you.
But when I was younger, maybe about 5, I used to watch Tony Dorsett all the time, dog. And so my fondest memories of Tony Dorsett is when I was about 4 or 5. I got a whole Cowboys football uniform. Tony Dorsett with the pads and the jersey and the star shoes and the whole get up, man. I used to love Tony Dorsett.
Hey, you didn't get beat up in Kansas dressing like that?
No, I was in Oklahoma then.
You was Oklahoma. Okay,
He was
they
safe.
have a football team. Okay,
It was for Christmas. So I was down in Oklahoma then, and my mom and daddy got me a whole outfit for it. So I'm gonna go with Tony Dorsett, man. That was my guy, dog.
So you go. So I didn't get a full sweep on that one. All right, the one you was on before when you got here, Jerome Bettis or Curtis Martin?
What I got? Jerome Bettis, man.
Okay, that's what I had. Big D, you didn't answer that one. Who's that? Jerome Bettis or Curtis Martin?
Jerome Bettis because he played on the Super Bowl team. Curtis, we never got a chance to see what Curtis Martin really could do because he played out his career at the Jets. So you already know how the Jets team was. So we don't know what he really could have been. Yeah. Because he was the only person they had. So his yard's gonna look good.
So, G, what was
they had Keyshawn Johnson too. Remember?
What'd you say, Ed?
Yeah, so
Is it
all
G?
they had was Curtis Martin.
What was your
they had
argument
Keyshawn
about Curtis Martin, G? What was your
Yeah, so like I
argument?
said, all they had was Curtis Martin.
Yeah, my argument for
Boy, y'all terrible, boy. Y'all terrible.
my argument for Curtis Martin again. Y'all right about he played on the Jets. It's tough, and it's tough on you when you playing for the Jets. But Curtis Martin,
Joe Namath.
but right, but or Reeves, but
You're
Curtis
right.
Martin was a real smooth running back that was stronger than a lot of people, like you say, between the tackles. So he was a lot better than he would get credit for. But again, because he was on those teams that wasn't winning, you know.
Right.
So I can't knock that. And again, I was a fan of the Buff. I used to like using him on video games. He was the absolute battering ram.
Yeah. All right. So, Aaron, who would you pick? Curtis Martin or Jerome Bettis?
Curtis Martin.
Derek, who you got? You said Jerome Bettis, right?
For what?
And George, you said Jerome Bettis over Curtis Martin?
Yeah. Jerome Bettis, because he was just a beast on a. You know what I'm saying? When they get down to that 1 yard line, you can always count on that boy.
Yeah. And Dana, you said Jerome Bettis, right?
Yes, sir. He was a monster, man. He was a bust, man.
G, guess what? You lost that round by a sweep.
Yeah.
Wait,
Right. No, I already picked Curtis Martin.
You picked Curtis Martin?
Yeah, I picked Curtis Martin.
Okay, my bad. So it's 3-2. It's 3-2. Going back to an earlier question, Dana.
I wasn't a Jerome Bettis fan.
Man, what did he do to you, man? You took your lunch money?
I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan.
You're a Cowboys fan.
You didn't like the team he was on. That's all that was.
No, because I like Cordell Stewart. Cordell Stewart. I just didn't like Jerome Bettis, especially after that Seattle Super Bowl.
No, okay. Hey, Dane, here's a question we had earlier. Bo Jackson, Gale Sayers, or Terrell Davis. All of them had short seasons. Who would you say? Obviously, Gale Sayers and Terrell Davis are Hall of Famers. Bo Jackson, not a Hall of Famer, at least not of yet, but the only player.
Barry Sanders had a short season. He had short career too.
Yeah, all of them had short careers. Barry Sanders played 4, Terrell and Gale played 7. But Bo Jackson, ESPN, greatest athlete of all time, 2 All-Stars in both major sports, 2 major sports. So you give him credit for that. But if you had to pick one for your team, who would you pick?
Bo Jackson, dog.
Whoa!
Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson. Listen, man. There's only a handful of athletes that can do what Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders can do, dog.
Yeah.
Come on now. I mean, Bo Jackson, he played for the Kansas City Royals, homie.
There it is. I knew had to go back to Kansas City.
I guess Bo do know diddly, don't he?
And then he played for the Raiders. Dog, it's only a few players that can do that, athletes that can do that, man, and make that transition, dog. So it's Bo all the way, baby.
Bo, no. So Big D, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so we're finna go back and we're gonna play a little bit. We got about 10 minutes left in this podcast.
Hold on. Y'all didn't go Walter Payton against Barry Sanders? Y'all forgot about them too?
No. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. You got it. You're on the floor.
Yeah, let him go in top 5. You might want to usher in his top 5.
Oh, my top 5?
Yeah, running back.
Shit. Shit, man. Walter, man. I gotta go Walter with number 1.
Walter number 1?
Walter with number 1. Probably Barry, man, number 2, man. Even though he had a short career.
Why do people keep saying Barry had a short career?
He played 9 years.
I mean, his career didn't last as long as
it didn't last as long as Emmitt.
But Barry's career didn't.
He played 9 seasons, Johnny.
Well, you think about it.
10 seasons.
Is that short? 9 seasons?
No, he played 9. He played 9.
That's short.
Compared to, if you want to get to all the summer guys that to me, you a hell of a running back if you can push for, because that's a ton of guys that played 7, 8 years.
Yeah, you're a hell of a running back if you can push for 9 years.
Here's the
It's called
here's
a
the difference
prison.
here's the difference between Barry Sanders and all those other running backs. Bo Jackson got hurt. That's why his career ended.
Right.
Terrell Davis got hurt. That's why his career ended. Barry Sanders got pissed. That's why his career ended.
Right. Barry Sanders' career was short because he was finna be hurt if he didn't retire.
That's what I said. He got pissed.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm done.
So I'm saying, but watch this. But did Barry Sanders retire in his prime though?
He did.
Yes.
No,
Just like Jim Brown. Just like Jim
absolutely
Brown.
not.
He was
Jim Brown
1,400 yards
Jim
away
Brown
from
quit football to be
breaking the
a movie star.
Damn, forgot about Jim. Shit.
Jim Brown
Jim.
quit playing football to be a movie star.
Right.
He got tired of pulling people's face off.
Right.
No, he said he stopped because he wanted to go into the movies.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying he got tired of pulling people's lips off while he was running. You know what
He
I'm saying?
became fucking invincible as a persona. That's what you do. You go to the next level, man. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying?
What everybody next level is, I mean, you know, everybody next level is different. You know, so he felt like, you know,
I mean, that's what he thought he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he thought he was doing. Whether it was the actual next level,
he was an activist. So he felt like he could be more of an activist.
Hey, so,
playing the movies.
Hey, real quick. So
playing the white man's game. He felt like football was the white man's game.
So I didn't give a jet. The Walter Payton and Barry Sanders question is kind of, I didn't want to throw it out there because obviously these guys are in everybody's top five. And if you don't got Walter Payton and Barry Sanders your top five, something wrong with you. But I'm gonna give Dana his own. Since everybody had theirs, I'm gonna give Dana his own, and we're gonna get the debate on this one.
No. I mean, they in my top five. I mean, you got Walter, you got Jim, you got Barry, you got to be
is
honest,
Emmitt Smith in your top five?
Yeah, Emmitt Smith, and then I like Allen. I like
Marcus
Allen. Yeah.
So the question I got for you, Dana: Earl Campbell or O.J. Simpson?
Oh,
God damn, man! See, the only thing about that is I was really really too young in that era, so I can only, I can't remember a lot of live games with them, and I can see highlights and old games, but so it's kind of unfair for me to say, even with Jim, you know what I'm saying? So, but if I was just to say, I'll probably go OJ, dog.
Howard, who you got?
Because he was more elusive.
Yeah.
It's like more elusive, but Earl he'd run your ass over just straight up.
Eric Dickerson.
Nobody wanted to tackle Earl Campbell. Nobody wanted to tackle Earl Campbell.
Nobody wanted to tackle Eric Dickerson. Nobody wanted to tackle Eric Dickerson. He was big.
He ran high knees.
Yeah, he was high knees.
Yeah, who you got? Earl Campbell, OJ.
I'm going OJ though.
I'm going OJ.
Derek, who you got?
Remember, they were both in my top five.
George, who you got?
Eric Dickerson and OJ, they had similar running styles.
Yeah.
No way. No, they didn't.
Your rushing season.
OJ was they were both smooth runners, but no, they did not have the same style.
They had a similar style, because if you look at them, they was both elusive. They both had the wiggle. They was both big, and they will both run you over. So I mean, they wasn't just no straight downhill runners.
No, so you gotta look at it. When Eric Dickerson came through, he came up running tall, and you wasn't finna tackle him either.
Right.
And he was fast.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now those are similarities. Those are similarities, but
yeah, they were similar.
If you want to put somebody, if you want to say somebody that was similar to Eric Dickerson, I say Roger Craig.
That's similar.
Roger Craig was more of a fullback.
Well, I'm talking about
not Roger. No, he wasn't more of a fullback.
Man, if you gonna get anybody to ED, it would have to be Earl Campbell, Alonzo Highsmith, the Eddie George, them kind of, they came running up tall like that. There was
even Ricky Waters.
Ricky Waters. Now Ricky Waters was, he was nice.
Rick Water was nice. I guess we probably talking about two different things. I'm more so the hot like
Hell,
Iris.
even DeMarco Murray ran up top.
Right. I'm thinking more
DeMarco
so
Murray
like
ran top.
Iris say the high knees, how you run style.
Nah, they wasn't high knee. They both wasn't high knees.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, he would come. They would hit the hole. They would see the
Yeah,
hole.
I
The
see what
hole
you're
ain't
saying.
there.
I see what you're
They
saying
spin,
now.
go side to side. They can run lateral. They can run
Right.
downhill. If you run up on them, they'll hit you and keep
Yeah.
going. You know, I mean, they
Eric
had that
Dickinson was gonna
similarity.
skip on your ass,
Yeah, and they both still, yeah.
and then he was
Yeah.
gonna skip on your ass. He was gonna turn into a foot race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So, Dayton, I got one for you.
Okay.
Give me why is Jamal Charles not ranked in nobody's top 20?
That's a good question, man.
You know why?
I
can tell you why.
think because of they didn't really win.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't really win with him, so that says a lot. I mean, he was a good runner, you know, but they just didn't. He
That's
just
why
didn't get him
Alonzo
to that
Highsmith.
next level for real.
That's why the
Look.
Earls and Alonzo Highsmiths don't get up there because
That's not why. You want to know why? Because he was
Tell me
small.
why.
He was
Well,
small.
that too. I mean,
That's
but
why
yeah,
he was small.
yeah, he
That's
was
it.
small.
and you didn't play on your team. Guess what? All these guys that we're talking about made their team successful. They was winning. They made the playoff. And at the time that
Right.
Jamal Charles was there, the Kansas City Chiefs wasn't. They were laughing stock of the league.
Right.
Not,
If Jamal
Exactly.
Charles, if Jamal Charles was 6'2", 6'3", 200 plus, he'd be considered one of the top 10 running backs in the game.
Yeah.
what
He
I,
wasn't. He was small.
I guess what I'm saying, watch this. Emmitt, you on the draft board, you on the clock.
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith or Adrian James?
Woo.
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt
I'm
Smith,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Emmitt Smith. I say that without blinking.
Listen, I know Elgin James. I get it, but I'm sorry.
I mean, that's probably everybody's opinion is their opinion.
Hey,
I
so
say
here's,
that without blinking or sneezing.
Emmitt
so
Smith
here's the
or
last. So here's the
Emmitt Smith
last.
or Fred Taylor.
Here's the last debate of the night. And this actually is not a debate against any of us, but it's against CBS Sports in 2022. CBS Sports in 2022 did not have Emmitt as a top 10. They had him at number 11. And the sad part about it is that they had Chris Johnson at number 10. Is Emmitt Smith better than Chris Johnson?
Not yes, but hell yes.
you gotta say this. The reason why they put these type of guys in the top 10 because those guys you see that they gonna have at least one 2,000-yard rushing season.
Okay.
Here's the thing with Emmitt, and this is what everybody missed. Emmitt Smith was never the greatest at one particular. You talk about speed, Emmitt wasn't the fastest. You talk about strength, Emmitt wasn't the strongest. You know, all the things that you say. The one thing Emmitt was, he had hella vision. Troy Aikman's career don't last as long as it does without Emmitt Smith. And he had an offensive line. But
hey, fellas, hey, Eric, I got to go and leave. I got to put out this fire with this little league team, man. I got to put this damn fire out.
All right, man. Appreciate it for joining us, man.
Yeah, he had a hell of an offensive line.
If you want to look at what Emmitt Smith did as a running back, go back and watch the 1993 game against the Atlanta Falcons.
I watched all of them. I watched every last one of them, and I'm saying,
and that's the problem. We act like we didn't see this man play. When Emmitt got the ball, we knew things were gonna happen.
No, what happened?
Emmitt got the ball, we knew things were gonna happen.
Yeah. Watch this. What happens is we ain't watched none of them other guys because we were too busy watching the home team.
Speak for yourself. I watched all of them because I love running backs.
Telling the truth.
Who's at number one?
I'm telling the truth, man.
I watched running backs. I loved them. I was a running back.
On this CBS Sports the thing, they had Barry Sanders at number 1, Eric Dickinson number 2, Terrell Davis at number 3, OJ Simpson number 4, Jim Brown at 5, LaDainian Thomas at 6, Walter Payton at 7, Adrian Peterson 8, Earl Campbell 10, and Chris Johnson at Earl Campbell at number 9 and Chris Johnson number 10. I don't know what CBS Sports was doing and having Jim Brown ranked all the way to number 5. I don't know what's wrong with CBS Sports, but that is crazy.
CBS Sports hates the Cowboys.
Yeah, they did that to make the Cowboys.
You look at anything
Nah,
CBS Sports
everybody
against
want to
Cowboys.
say I'm a Cowboys fan, man. I'm finna tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. That's why I don't want to. Like I said at the beginning of the time, I'm gonna end up making my own version. I'm gonna have a fair weather fan team, a fan club or something, man.
I like it.
Because Cowboys fans, sometimes when I talk to us, we become absolutely ridiculous.
We worse than LeBron. The only fans worse than Cowboy fans are LeBron fans.
Right.
Hey.
Okay, Ari. Okay, Ari. Listen to me. Listen to what you just told me. You told me the guy that's not the fastest, not the strongest. He had the best line and all of this shit. And he the best guy.
But I didn't say he was the best running back.
Man,
I remember I chose Barry Sanders.
And again,
I chose Barry Sanders.
And again, I'm telling you, because we all speaking hypothetically. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, same thing is we're gonna say, what if Barry was behind Emmitt line? This is the same thing.
Record in year 7. I'm just record in year 7.
Okay, now you heard.
George.
Okay, you heard.
Let me bring George in. Let me bring George in. George.
Yeah.
Here's a question, man. And we're talking about Emmitt Smith, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got the most rushing yards, right? He got the most touchdowns by a running back.
Mm-hmm.
Those two stats alone, you know what I'm saying? Is it enough to at least put him in the top 3? And because this is what I'm looking at. We talk about the offensive line, him playing on Super Bowl teams, him having receivers and fullbacks that was good, and tight end that was good, and quarterbacks good, and Hall of Fame coaches on his side. But at the end of the day, he still got to perform. The fact that he went out there and got the highest rushing yards, most rushing yards, and the highest touchdowns, why doesn't that count for something to be an argument of top 3 or top 5?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Cowboy fan.
I'm with you on that. You know that.
I'm telling you why. Because of talent.
Here's the question.
When you look at the eye test, Emmitt is not the best guy.
If you look at the eye test told you this dude is a monster. Because you never took him down on the first tackle. Linebackers hated blitzing.
Hey, and plus, did y'all watch that game where he played against the Giants with a dislocated shoulder?
Hell, watch it. I was there. Watch it. I was there. I was at that game.
What you about to say,
bro? Now these running backs nowadays, bro, they hurt their pinky, they out the game. This dude played with a whole shoulder separation, man.
This dude was playing with one arm.
For something, dog.
One arm and a thumb.
His heart, Emmitt Smith had heart, bro.
So everybody on this panel can agree that Emmitt Smith was the dog, but nobody on this panel wants to defend him in the top 5 conversation.
No, I would.
Okay.
I would defend him in the top 5, top 7, maybe. Yeah, against those guys. Yeah.
Top 5 or top 7.
well, because so let's look at it. So let's look at this, because when you judge sports, most people judge sports on Super Bowls,
right?
Accomplishments, right? Like with Jordan, they say he the GOAT because
that's not how. But I'm different though.
Most of the rings,
yeah.
Or he was better than everybody, or whatever. So with Emmitt, I mean, shit, he was at the top of his game. He was at the top of all running backs.
Yeah, again.
So you gotta put him. He can't be at number 10 or 11, dog. I mean, he gotta be. Yeah, shit. 1 through 4.
He was good for so long, for years, man. He wasn't like just 2-3 years and he would never heard of him. He was good for just about the whole time he was in the league, man. I mean, he was very consistent, dog.
Hey, Aaron. So, Aaron, you still there? Hey, Aaron. Did Aaron check out?
He must be gone.
Okay, unless he on the road, he must have got something. But AG, you're a Cowboy fan. I'm gonna tell you what got me, but just what made me put him in my top 5. And it has nothing to do with football. But I watched the podcast. He was on the Pivot podcast a few weeks ago, and the reason why I left the Cowboys, was money and respect and all that stuff like that. But he said when the Cowboys played Arizona,
Jerry Jones,
right? When they played Arizona and they was back at Texas Stadium, and he said he's there in the visiting locker room. He said he got into went through that tunnel, went to the visitors locker room with his teammates right there beside him. He said he cried for about 20 minutes straight.
Yep.
Because he looked up his team and said, "I am not supposed to be over in this locker room."
Yep.
And he said it was the hardest game that he had to play.
Yeah.
Against the Cowboys.
Because Roy Williams lit his ass up. I remember. hey, he sitting right back to that locker room too. Shit. Before the game was over, baby.
He back in, he got back to that bug early.
On the cool. And it's not funny, but
yeah.
Nigga Roy Williams, boy,
Well, we'll let him know I'm the new face of the Cowboys now. But just that alone, hearing them say that, is like, it's hard when the Cowboys face a Jerry Jones situation like that, when they don't respect players who's been there for so long. And then you're talking about him getting hurt and then Jerry not at least showing some type of a gratitude towards him and let him go. And of course, you know how it is. It's not easy to go to another team at that late in your career and try to pick up where you left off. And so I think personally, if he would have stayed with the Cowboys and not moved, this would be a different conversation.
Man,
I think it'll be a different conversation.
Yeah, let's don't start that conversation. I'm about to start some shit. So let's just stop that conversation right there.
Okay. No, why?
Because Jerry Jones ain't shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't shit. He fuck up all these fucking players.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, brothers. My wife called me.
That's all good. Yeah.
My wife called me. I had to click over.
Sorry,
yeah, I ain't got no room for you over here, so you better go ahead and
yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. So Aaron, where we left off at,
yes, sir.
I was telling a story about how Emmitt Smith got really emotional when he was in Arizona. He came back to Texas State and played the Cowboys, and he said he cried in the locker room for 20 minutes. And so the conversation Dana and I was having about, had Jerry Jones would have showed gratitude towards Emmitt Smith and show respect to him and not let him go, we would be in a different conversation about Emmitt Smith being one of the greatest of all time because he would stay with the Cowboys. I think his yardage would have been a whole lot better. I think his stats would have been a whole lot better. And I think we'll be having a different conversation. He'd probably make top 3. But how do you feel about Jerry Jones and his nonsense keep on doing this to his top players?
What was the last question? Because it was.
And the top coaches.
What was the last question?
Jerry Jones keep on getting rid of his top coaches, his top players, and his top everything. As soon as you do good, you're on the chopping block when Jerry Jones out.
But he keep his bottom bitches.
yeah. What do you think, Aaron? Well, G, take over because Aaron got some technical difficulties going on.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
All right, speak on Jerry Jones and his nonsense about getting rid of his top players, top coaches, and as Dana say, his bottom bitches.
Keeping his bottom bitches.
Keeping them, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, and you got to remember, from 1970 something to 2018, I either had a family member or a friend that played for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I kind of got some inner knowledge of stuff. Emmitt Smith was not released by the Cowboys because of Jerry Jones. Emmitt Smith was released by the Cowboys because of Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells didn't want Emmitt Smith. He wanted Troy Henry.
Yeah.
If it was up to Jerry Jones, Emmitt Smith would have retired the Dallas Cowboy. He was not going to release Emmitt Smith. Jerry Jones didn't release Zeke Elliott. Jerry Jones didn't release Dez Bryant. Stephen Jones did that. we got that's one thing that I want everybody to stop doing. We blame Jerry for a lot of stuff that Jerry didn't do. Jerry is actually trying to take his hands off of stuff. That's why Will McClay and Stephen Jones are making so many decisions. But when he brought in Bill Parcells, that was the first time since Jimmy Johnson that he took his hands off of it and said, if this is what Bill wants, that's what Bill gonna get. Now, if
That don't
Emmitt
sound
Smith
like
would've-
Jerry Jones though.
it don't sound like Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
but
that don't sound like Jerry
but,
Jones.
But remember, Jerry Jones wanted that stadium built. He knew he wasn't gonna get that stadium built if the Cowboys didn't start winning. So what did he do? He brought in Bill Parcells, and then all of a sudden they wasn't a winning team, but they wasn't a losing team either. So Jerry Jones is a businessman before anything else.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So Jerry Jones didn't want Emmitt to go, but Bill Parcells wanted Emmitt to go. So he was gonna make his coach happy. He was gonna make the man that he sought after. He was gonna make him happy because he wanted Troy Hambrick. So if Emmitt Smith would have stayed with the Cowboys, if Bill Parcells would have kept him with the Cowboys, because remember, Emmitt was one of the ones that had the problem with nobody wearing the star. And what do you mean I don't wear a star? What do you mean I gotta earn it? Look at my stats, my stats. And then Bill Parcells was the one that said, "That's what you used to do. What have you done for me lately?" Remember? You remember? So if Emmitt stayed with the Cowboys, honestly, I still don't believe that Emmitt Smith would still be getting looked at today like he would still be getting looked at like he is today. Why? Because Emmitt Smith was a victim of having a great team. And people like my man G happen to overlook the fact that if Emmitt Smith ain't playing with the Cowboys, and I love Barry Sanders as a running back was a better running back than Emmitt Smith. But as a total back, Emmitt Smith was way better than Barry Sanders because Barry wasn't blocking nobody.
But why again?
Let me come back. Let me fight Iron on this right now. Iron, I would never call a man a liar, and I believe that you are telling the truth as far as about you say you have family members with the Cowboys organization, and I would never contest that. But I'm going to push back for a second here, just because I can. I want to make the show interesting by pushing back.
Push back.
I don't believe one bit of it. God dang, Jerry Jones is the sole owner of that team, and if he did turn around and let these other players, other people make decisions like his son, you forgot that's his son. That's the son. You tell your son exactly what to do, and your son gonna say yes, daddy. I don't care how old Stephen Jones is. He know. I just believe in my whole heart that don't nothing get past Jerry Jones. And the reason why I say that because when they hire Mike McCarthy, I'm sorry. We talked about this on the last show. I'm sorry. If you hire Mike McCarthy, why he got to go spend a night and have a nightcap with Jerry Jones and not Stephen Jones, and Stephen Jones making a decision? It doesn't make no sense to me.
And then one more question. And one more question I want to ask the brother. Was it Jerry Jones' decision to keep Tony Romo that long?
Was it Jerry Jones' decision to keep Tony Romo that long?
Yeah, that was Jerry Jones' decision.
That was all Jerry. I'm not saying, hold on. I'm not saying Jerry don't do anything, but remember this, and they talked about this extensively. If it was up to Stephen Jones, Deion Sanders would have never been a Cowboy. Jerry Jones and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones almost got into a physical fight about Deion Sanders. That's documented. They almost got into a physical fight.
Well, it's clearly who made the best decision.
Now, hold on. But remember, it was also Jerry Jones that said, come hell or high water, we're drafting Johnny Manziel. Stephen Jones said, the hell we are.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are some decisions, especially nowadays, considering the salary cap. Remember, the Cowboys used to be in salary cap hell.
Yeah.
And that's because Jerry Jones was the only one. He was the head of everything. But Bill Parcells came in and said, if you want me to run this ship, you got to get out the way.
And so let me ask you, why did Bill Parcells leave?
Because he didn't want to stay no more.
Because
and I'll tell you why he didn't want to stay.
They were taking the power from him.
There were three things that happened. There were three things that happened. That made Bill Parcells, actually four. There were four things that happened that made Bill Parcells walk away. And y'all may not agree with this, but like I said, I know folks, so I'm telling you the truth. The first thing that happened was Quincy Carter getting cut.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells was totally against that. He was totally against that. He said we can easily put Quincy in rehab and just say he got hurt. Jerry Jones said no. The The second thing that happened that Bill Parcells was totally against was signing Drew Henson.
Okay.
He only went okay with it because Bill Parcells said okay. The third thing, and if you ask me, it was the breaking point for Bill Parcells, signing T.O.
Gotcha.
Signing T.O. Bill Parcells was totally against that. And Jerry said no. And Bill Parcells, if you think about it, he never, except for the Giants, he never stayed anywhere longer than 5 years.
True that.
True.
Patriots, gone in 5. Jets, gone in 5. Cowboys, gone in 5. That's Bill Parcells.
So, question to Dana about the Cowboys, and G, I want you to chime in on this.
Man, I don't like the Cowboys.
I know.
Why you asking the Chiefs fan,
In
man?
the world,
Cowboy fans.
I know in the world of media,
Yeah.
and I've seen it happen more than one time. Every time a Cowboy player, either in contract negotiation or up for renewal, every time they get in front of the media, particularly Dallas media, and say that there will be a Cowboy fan come next season or they will be the starter, historically, something happened. Quincy Carter, during training camp, got up there and said, I will be the starter of Dallas Cowboys. 2 days later, cut. There's Bryant said, I will be a Dallas Cowboys later. Before the night turned dark, he was cut. I can go on and on and on. So, and falling back on Iron said, I get that there are other people in the organization that are making decisions, but it seems like to me, historically, that nobody is going to take the face of the Cowboys away from Jerry Jones. Because everything that Iron said about all these other people making these decisions, it ain't in the media. Don't see that. We don't see that. Iron have to know somebody behind the scenes. Yeah. So even if they are making decisions, Jerry Jones like, hey, I'll ride with it.
I've heard that though. I've heard that before. I've heard somebody say this, some of the same things that you've said before. I really have. It's
like Jerry's taking his hand off a lot of stuff, man. He's taking his hand off of it. He is. Like you think about some of the moves that the Cowboys have made, and you compare them with moves that Jerry Jones have made in the past.
Yeah. But why is it every time somebody every time somebody feel like they about to upstage Jerry Jones, something happen, either get benched, franchise tagged, or get walked?
So here's the thing: when the Cowboys want you, they keep you. I don't want to hear nothing about no salary cap, nothing. If the Cowboys want you, they keep you. You ain't going nowhere. You gonna end the rest of your days as a Cowboy. With my man Zeke got hurt. He was getting paid $90 million.
And they quit giving Zeke the ball. You cut a man carries in half, his yards gonna go in half.
Did Troy Aikman play for another team?
No.
Did Michael Irvin play for another team?
No.
Yes.
Tony Romo.
Did Tony Romo play for another team?
No.
Did Emmitt Smith play for another team?
Yes.
Did Jay Novacek play for another team?
No.
No.
Well, before Cowboys, yeah.
Their last tight end Whitten play for another team?
Yes, he played for the Raiders.
He played for the Raiders. He did. Yeah. He did. But he didn't get cut. He retired and came back, right? He retired and came back as a Raider.
I think so, maybe.
Yeah, that's what happened. So. He retired and came back for Raiders, right? So when you say that if Jerry Jones wants you, he'll keep you. It seemed like that it's suspect of who he's choosing to keep and who he's not choosing to keep, because there are a lot of top players he didn't keep. And as far as fans, we still ask questions like, why? Why didn't you keep Des Bryant? Why didn't you keep Chris Carter? Because I get, if you said if they want them, they'll keep them. The question we're asking as Cowboy fans is why don't they want them? Because
number one, Jerry Jones will never completely take his hand off of it. He'll never completely take his hand off of it, right? But think about this: when they let Des Bryant go, right? Des Bryant was still one of the highest paid players on the team. He had just signed a contract 2 years prior.
Right. He won't take
a contract extension. He said publicly he was not going to take a pay cut.
Yeah, dumb
He
decision.
said that in the last game of the season, and they asked him on camera, "Will you take a pay cut?" Dez Bryant said, "Hell no, I ain't taking no pay cut."
He took a major pay cut though after that.
Yeah, he took a huge pay cut after that. But the thing, you know, so it's like, you know, with the same with the Demarcus Ware
Right.
and Zeke Elliott were both victims of the same thing. You're hurt, and your best ability is your availability. And if you hurt all the time, but you making most of the pie, we can't keep you. We can't keep you. That's why it took them so long to do it. Because Jerry, what you got Steven in your ear every day saying, Jerry, now you know, I know this, I know you love him, but dog, Pop, this is how much money we gonna have to pay him, and this is what we can't get if we keep him. So I'm gonna leave it in your hands. What you gonna do? And when you put the business part in front of Jerry gonna always make the business decision.
Okay.
Now watch this. Now this is my question I want to add on to that. Well then after you do that, well then why do you pay Amari Cooper so much and get rid of him for nothing but then pay Michael Gallup? And why did you pay Jalen Smith and Zeke before you paid that?
This is why Jalen Smith said, "I'll take whatever the Cowboys give me." And the Cowboys were like, "Well, that's all right with us. Team friendly." They paid Zeke because they knew at the time they couldn't win without him.
Yeah, until they seen Tony Pollard, and they like,
right.
Zeke held out because he saw what they did to DeMarco Murray 3 years before.
Exactly. Yep.
And and what Zeke said is, "You ain't finna do me like you did DeMarco Murray. You gonna give me my money now."
Right.
Now, but what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is how he's screwing himself on the salary cap. Because in the beginning,
the Cowboys are good under the cap. They $30 million under the cap.
No. I'm saying in the beginning, if he had signed that instead of playing with that, he just saved himself $30 million right there.
Yeah.
Because Jerry didn't believe in Dak. Jerry didn't believe in Dak. Steven and Will McClay believed in Dak. Jerry didn't.
Now watch this. But now look at you. And now what finna happen to you is fans finna make you get rid of Dak.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is now you got Dak for a deal.
Iran. I love it. As a Cowboys fan speaking.
No. That's not a Cowboy fan. That's just me telling the truth. Dak ain't going nowhere.
Dak ain't going nowhere?
Dak ain't going nowhere. And it's not because Dak is cold. It's not because Dak is great. And I actually think Dak is a top 10 quarterback, but that's me. That's
I agree with you.
That's my opinion. But
so
Dak ain't going nowhere. Dak ain't going nowhere because Jerry Jones is too old and he ain't trying to start over.
Right. And it ain't many quarterbacks that's better than him.
Jerry ain't trying to start over. Jerry Jones goes with who he know.
Yeah.
If you pay attention, that's why they don't go out and sign big free agents, because Jerry Jones goes with who he knows.
Yeah,
in order to get Jerry Jones to sign somebody, Will McClay and Stephen Jones got to sit there and Jerry and say, this is who he reminds us of. And it has to be somebody that Jerry has already had on his team. If it don't remind him, that's why they signed Drew Henson, because he reminded him of Troy Aikman.
Yeah. Now, I agree with that. Now, and again, I'm going to put an extension on that. And again, why wouldn't you go with the guy that won Rookie of the Year? The guy that was just hurt last year, even though we talked about all the interceptions last year, but the guy that was hurt, even though we was winning, our offense and our shit was trash. Just like you said, the same argument for Emmitt Smith. The offense wasn't getting no touchdown. We were barely winning them games, though, because of the defense. But when that came back, nigga want to talk about all of them interceptions, but we became the most high-powered offense in the league.
I'm going to tell you why Zeke.
Real quick, yo. I'm gonna give Dana this question, and then we're gonna end the podcast. And we got a lot to talk about for the next one. But this gonna hurt. This was gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
Hold on. Earlier, used to be the Dallas
earlier, I asked Dana a question. And I said, Dana, what do you think about Jamal Charles? Now, Jamal Charles, if y'all don't know, is on paper the best Kansas City running back. All right.
Yeah.
So, but he himself, as a Kansas City Chiefs fan, lived in the city or not, as a fan, step back and says, you know what? He didn't play on a good team. Now, as Cowboy fans, we make a lot of excuses for our team. Now, Dana, in the world of sports, in sports alone, not fans, in sports alone, what do you think about the Cowboys and the Cowboy fans? Are the fans, are they looking too much in it to try to give excuses for the Cowboys, or do you think that some of the stuff they say defend the Cowboys has some validity?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Cowboys have a really, really good team.
Okay.
Hands down. I mean, just these last maybe since the defense has turned up, maybe was it the last 2 years, maybe. But I think that you really at this point, because the game has changed so much, man. I think you have to have a top tier quarterback to get you over the hump. And you can still be a fan, and that's great. You know, I mean, you can still root for the Cowboys because they got like number 1, number 2 defense in the league. I mean, then they just added I think that veteran cornerback, so they gonna be even better.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, back then it was more of defense wins the championships, but right now it looks like quarterbacks. And when you build around a top tier quarterback, that's what's gonna get you over the hump. Because at the end of the day, if you don't got no top tier quarterback, you ain't gonna win no Super Bowl these days. So,
can I interject on that?
Yeah, Aaron, I'm gonna ask you a similar question because you know we Facebook friends, and you post a lot during football season defending the Cowboys. You got the flow.
The Cowboys made the biggest mistake and the biggest thing that hurt Dak Prescott when they traded away Amari Cooper. That was period.
So did
if you look at what Dak did and Amari Cooper did before they put them together, Amari Cooper was about to be considered a bust. They were about to say Amari Cooper was a bust in Oakland, and they were saying that Dak Prescott couldn't do it because unless Zeke was doing it. If Zeke rolled, then Dak rolled. But the moment they put Amari Cooper and Dak together, all of a sudden Dak Prescott became a top 10 quarterback and Amari Cooper became a top 10 receiver.
I believe that.
That's what happened.
True.
And when the moment it's because of the toy. They got the toy in CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Well, CeeDee Lamb didn't come in polished.
Right.
CeeDee Lamb was not a great route runner. CeeDee Lamb was not a great pass catcher. CeeDee Lamb was awesome once he got his hands on the ball, but he had to get his hands on the ball first. Amari Cooper, I don't care how many people you put on him, he got open.
Yeah, because he's a really good route runner.
And regardless of where Dak threw the ball, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper was gonna catch it.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper was gonna catch it. And people keep talking about, well, Amari Cooper made Dak. Well, here's the question. He had a quarterback throwing for him in Oakland. How come he didn't make Derek Carr? He didn't make Derek Carr. But when he got to Dallas, it's just something about when you get the perfect marriage. Dak was for Amari Cooper what Amari Cooper was for Dak. And if they'd have kept them together, we'd have another Aikman and Irvin.
G,
and I'll stand on that.
I'm gonna let you end it. I'm gonna let you end it right here. Going back to Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith, obviously, we're still arguably, top 5, top 7, top 10 running backs of all time. Is there a running back in today's game that's better than Emmitt Smith?
In today's game, I mean, again, everybody's criteria is different.
What's yours? From your perspective, is there a running back in today's game that's better than Emmitt Smith?
But yeah, I would say right off the bat, I would still take a Derrick Henry over.
I was saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, same question.
Huh?
Is there a running back in today's game that's better than Emmitt Smith?
Better? I ain't gonna say better, but on that same level, no. Derrick Henry to me is the closest. But no. There ain't no running back. If he was still healthy, Ezekiel Elliott would have been.
Dana, is there a running back in today's game that's better?
I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Here is one. Saquon Barkley when he healthy.
Yeah, because I was finna name Saquon Barkley. Derrick Henry was just the first one. I'm gonna take it easy on him.
I was
Saquon
about to
Barkley
say
when he
Saquon.
healthy.
I was about to say Saquon, but you know the thing is when Emmitt was playing in today's game is a little different because now these running backs catch the ball out of the backfield so much that they don't just run between the tackles, so but yeah, I would say Saquon would be on the level, maybe not necessarily as better, but he's him and Henry is they all up there.
Whenever I look at Emmitt Smith, I don't know. Every time I look at Jonathan Taylor, I have just a sharp comparison. I don't know why. I like the way last year don't count. Last year don't count, but Jonathan Taylor he's Emmitt Smith-esque. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good. I didn't even think about Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Even though Nick Chubb be hurt, I'm saying he's more of a stud running back than Emmitt Smith now.
Nick Chubb and goddamn Joe Nixon don't count because they two-headed monsters in their team. I'm sorry, they don't get to count. I'm sorry. You can't sit up there and run 20 yards and back-to-back plays and go sit down for 2 and let your backup running back get you on the 5-yard line. You come in and clean it up. That's completely not fair.
Thank you. Emmitt
I'm sorry,
didn't come off the field.
You know what I'm saying?
Emmitt did not come off the field.
Yeah. You talking about every down back? That's when you look at Saquon's and Derrick Henry's and the Jonathan Taylors, every down backs. You don't see that in those only ones in the day's league, except a few of them that actually getting it done, being every down back. Well, y'all, I appreciate you guys for joining the podcast, man. I'm gonna come up with a topic for next Monday. I'm gonna try to keep it going on every Monday. Matter of fact, let me tell you, the next topic for Monday is a topic that me and G has been brewing for the longest, and we're gonna send it out. And the topic is going to be simple. Records. We're looking at broken records. We're looking at when you break a record. Does the suspended record count? All those players who got caught in all this drug and stuff and they got their records count, should they count? We'll talk about it. We're going to dive into it next week. Think about it. Pull it up. Research it. We're going to jump on that.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
we'll see you guys next Monday, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, man.
All right, thanks, man.
All right.
Yes, sir. This is EC22, the Fair Weather Fan channel, and we are out. Peace out, fellas.
Peace.
Yes, sir.